Let's talk about the speed with which we are watching this market deteriorate.
We're red everywhere, essentially, down by 4-5%.
We're down over 16%. Dow at the same time has fallen about 18%.
NASDAQ, everything and more has been completely wiped out.
It was the worst day on Wall Street since the crash of 1987.
Just broad-based declines across all of the major technology sectors. Apple's under pressure. Yahoo down 8.5%. Cisco 6.5%. Research in Motion 10%.
And we're not getting the bid wanted. We're not getting the stop trading, and we see where the buyers are. We're just every day they're pounding it.
The heightened financial turmoil that we have experienced of late may well lengthen the period of weak economic performance and further increase the risk to growth.
Can't look at it after you buy it. It's so horrible.
But we've had an 8-day losing streak in the Dow that in percentage terms puts it on par, close to the loss suffered in that crash in 1987, close to that percentage loss those 2 days in 1929.
What started in America last year has now spread to every part of the world.
This market is as volatile as you'll ever see.
Traders saying this is the craziest day they have ever seen in these markets. Veteran traders saying they've never seen anything like it. The movement in oil prices.
This could be the most serious recession in decades. And that means life, as most Americans know it, is about to change, in some cases dramatically.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Herve, and every other day on this channel I try my best to bring you crypto in the easiest way possible. So today we are just going to look at this chart which I sent to the Discord group. I think that was like 2 days ago. This right here is the Wall Street cheat sheet. Okay, it only measures, say, market psychology. It's not actually supposed to be used to relate it with technical analysis. It's just about how market psychology works. And so as we can see from here, we go from, let me enlarge this, we go from disbelief to hope, optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria, complacency, anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation, anger, depression, and again disbelief. So this belief here is coming back into the cycle. Now what we can notice from this chart, and this is not something that is new, it's not like I discovered it, this is all online, is that this chart is looking a lot like the S&P 500. Now we always talk about the S&P 500 because the S&P Bitcoin follows the S&P. The S&P is the larger market. All right, so Bitcoin tends to follow the larger market, just like altcoins tend to follow Bitcoin. Yeah, so we always take our analysis to another level by looking at the S&P, looking at what big money is doing. And so when you come to the S&P right here, let us enlarge this. All right, so when you come to the S&P right here, you will find that the S&P looks a lot like the chart which I just showed you. So if you take this, let's take this from here to here. Okay, so you see that the drop which we are seeing here on the S&P looks a lot like the first drop from euphoria. Now this is where people are still thinking that we are still going to go up. Yes, they still believe that we're still, that no, that wasn't the top. This is just another, dip. Let's buy the dip and we will move up. And so this region is where a lot of people turn to go borrow money, take out loans and then invest in the market. And that's usually when you'll have the next drop, and then we see the next drop also here on the S&P, and then a lot of people still buy the dip and they are hoping that price is going to go up even higher. And of course price tends to go up, but then little do they know that that is where price will end up dropping back to the downside and go even horribly down. And that is exactly where they start to feel these other emotions like anxiety, denial, panic, and capitulation and anger. So we might be in this type of situation where we have a fake move to the upside right here and then start to drop down horribly. And if you even come up here to the S&P. So we are on the weekly chart, remember. This looks a lot like a bear pennant, and as I always say for symmetrical triangles, price will most likely break out from the wrong side first. So the first move is mostly the fake move, and that is exactly what I am seeing here. Price is moving higher. If I had this exit right here, I would actually think that is the fake move, and we could have something like so and move up. However, that is not what we are seeing here. We are seeing price actually go up first. That is where I have a problem, because this thing could go up and then we have a drastic move down like so. Everybody in the markets is bullish now. Everybody. When I was saying that we could very well come up to this 30k, and I'm still saying that we will go to 40k on 47k on BTC, which is my best guess for now. There are still some people who think, well, we are just going to crash from here. They just want to short the markets from here. But I think the markets are going to exhaust everybody's patience. The markets are going to push every bear to a bull, and push every bull to think we are going back to 100k. You know, they'll start bringing all sorts of crazy figures. And if you watched my video on Bitcoin's price history, and you understand that it has been depreciating by a factor of 5.3 is what we mentioned, then you will know that the next top, according to that data, the next top should be anywhere around 79k. We really do have some problems. Now, why am I so concerned about this drop from the S&P? Why does this concern me so much? Why am I so concerned about this? It is because if the S&P dropped back down to here, there is no guarantee that we will have a bull market then in 2024, 2025. It could be a long-term bear market in the S&P, and a long-term bear market in the S&P will not in any way guarantee a bull market in crypto. Markets do move by cycles, they move by patterns, they move by waves. And I continuously say this because I'm trying to save wealth. You know, there is no need going through all of these analysis every day when you are just doing it for, say, you just want to make a quick buck today, tomorrow. It's about the future. If you're investing in a project, how long do you have to be invested, you know, to make your profits? If you go in right here, for example, on the S&P, and it plummeted down to here, and plummeting down to here will be the average 50% we've seen in the dot-com bubble, in the 2008 financial crisis, 57%. So if we have the same 57% here, this is the pandemic drop right here in 2020, and then even if we have like this 50% drop in the S&P, which will be mimicking the dot-com or say the 2008 financial crash, that will be retesting the pandemic lows of 2020. There is no guarantee that that will hold, and so we have no idea whatsoever that this thing will go back up before 2024-2025 bull market. The only thing that we could have as a savior here would be that Bitcoin decouples from the stock market, but as for now it hasn't. It is still moving with the stock market. So when I talk about this, a lot of people, you know, come to my DMs and be like, oh, this can't happen, it's not possible, you know, maybe you are wrong about the analysis, maybe, and I understand them. Frankly, I do. I understand them. A lot of people lost their lives when this drop occurred. So it's not like I'm wishing that we go to $3,000 by Bitcoin. You know, some people are like, it's a fake dream, you know, it's just a dream. And I understand these people, okay? Most people online that you would find doing analysis, most of them do not do analysis on the weekly, on the monthly, on the 3-month, on the yearly. They don't. It's needless for most people. Well, that is unfortunately the part that intrigues me. So I do analysis on the weekly, on the 3-month, on the yearly. that is on the S&P, because we can't really do that on Bitcoin. But I do all of those analysis, and when you do analysis on the 15-minute time frame, the same strategies that you use on the 15-minute time frame would apply on very high time frames. Well, depending on the strategy that you're using, because some strategies are best on very high time frames. What we are currently witnessing is a fake move to the upside. This is what I would assume that is happening right here from this symmetrical triangle. So this would be a bear pennant, like so. Now, if you have a fake move to the upside, where can that fake move lead? You have the first target of the fake move, which will be leading you anywhere to like 4,400. Now, we talked about 4,300 on the channel, 4,300 to 4,600 on this channel, because we've talked about this already, about the S&P going to the upside, USDT going to the downside to retest the neckline of the double bottom, and then Bitcoin going up to retest the neckline of the double top. And so these are the things that are happening. I would actually be betting that the S&P retests this first one here. That one up there would already be above the all-time high right here, which will be confirming a move to the upside. So to stay within the range of the S&P plummeting, it will actually be around this first target, which is 4,400. So anywhere, as we said before, anywhere between 4,300 to 4,600 is where we should be watchful for. Because if that happened and Bitcoin was at 47,000, and I say this again, I will take my money and run away. So I think we will at least retest our lows, and yeah, that's the worst case scenario. If we retest our lows and I buy some, you know, and it goes up, then yeah, I would have done a great deal by selling high and buying low. And as I say this, let me just show up the Bitcoin chart right here. We have talked about this over and over. We have said that we had this downwards, this descending wedge. We've talked about this one. We've said we've had this descending wedge. Bitcoin is currently going for the target of the descending wedge. We've said this, and it's only funny, which is what I find online. People only believe what they want to happen. They don't believe what they do not want to happen. So that is the first target of the descending wedge. This everybody now would agree, because it's already there. You know, it's already there, so everybody would agree. But when I was talking about the exact same thing, when Bitcoin was here, coming back to retest this low right here, nobody believed me. People asked me where they usually say when 30k, you know, because I was talking about 30k on this exit. I think I still have I have a chart with about that. Let me just pull that up. So this, I had this chart on the 20th of January. So this is 20th of January. That's it. Yes, 20th of January. So I had this chart right here when Bitcoin was still about to exit the downward sloping, the descending wedge. Yes, it was still about to exit this downward sloping trend line. I had this chart. Now, a lot of people still, well, did not believe me, but most believed me here because, well, it's going up. Everybody thinks it's going to go up. So more people will believe when you say it's going up. More people believe that. But when you say that it's going up and it will come back down, they don't believe you. And it's crazy because the same things that make me think it will go up are the exact same things that make me think it will go down, just in a different position. Let me show you. Now, we have the descending wedge right here. We can all agree this is a descending wedge. It broke to the it broke out, it had a retest, and usually it should go up. I explained in this channel, I took my time and I explained that when you see an inverted head and shoulders pattern, when you see inverted like this, when you see an inverted head and shoulders, expect a retracement of the second shoulder, because people will go long here. When they go long, their stop losses are here. Price will usually come back to take those stop losses and continue to the direction of what? Of the head. Why the head, you might ask? Because when it goes up and reaches right here, this will be the target of this shoulder, the target of this first shoulder. Ideally, everybody in the market will think that it will crash from that first target. And so what will they do when they think that they don't just think that and sit at home? No, they go short. When they go short, where is the stop loss? Up. Price will follow that stop loss. By following that stop loss, it is following liquidity. But the liquidity is still just part of the head. So the pattern itself tells you what will the future hold. It tells you everything about the future. So this price action will be following this head right here. This is the head we are talking about, and this is pointing to about 40k. Now let's come back with the explanation of the descending wedge. Again, we have this descending wedge right here, the descending wedge. I'm not trying to be too perfect with the measurements, okay? We've said that price has to go to the upside, and the accurate target there is 31,900. all right, so just bear with me. Now, so let's say it goes to 31,900. That's the first target of what? Of the descending wedge, of this descending wedge. What is the second target? The second target is this one, from here to here. That's the second target. What's that second target giving you? 47,000. It's actually 47,700 if I measure it correctly. It's 47,700. So 47,000. Let's just say that's 47,800 right there. All right. Okay. So according to this that we are looking, price should go up here. Price should go up here. Price has already gone up to this one, which you could have known just from this exit, which we talked about. Now, when I said this, many people who think Bitcoin cannot go to 3K believed me, because it's up. It's easier to believe price will go up. And that's why a lot of people lose money, because they are stuck with emotions that, oh, it's just going to go up, let me invest, it's going to go up. Could it just turn around from here and come down? Yes. Will I sell? No. Why would I even want to sell around here? It's not because I've made so much profit, because to me that's not really big profit. It is because I think from that level we could go down so low that I will be in a massive loss without even knowing when I could ever come back into profits. So that's the problem. It's not about just selling here because, you know, I made profits. No, 100% profit to me is still not anything huge, you know, as compared to, you know, what you would usually make from buying in a bear market and selling in a bull market. If this was just a trade, yeah, 100% will be a lot. But it's about investing in the bear market and selling in the bull market. Well, the problem is for the past 10 years, we have been in a bull market in the stock market, in the S&P. And Bitcoin has been following that stock market all along from its inception. It means that Bitcoin has basically been in a bull market all along. So that's where I have a problem. That's where I have a problem. Because if this thing came down from here, then you don't even know when it's going to, you know, go back into the bull. And if the stock market is going back to retest that pandemic low, Bitcoin will most likely come back to retest its own pandemic low. Guess where the pandemic low is? 3,000. And so we even have a double top here. You know, we have so many problems with these charts that sometimes when I look at it, it's just crazy. Anyway, so what's just crazy to me is that you know, everybody accepts that it will go up relative to this pattern, and then but they do not accept that it will go down relative to the same type of pattern. This right here, this descending wedge, which you can see like so, and I've explained all of this over and over and over. You have a structure that looks like so. All right, so you have this coming down like so. So this is your support, and then you have this coming down like so, and that's your resistance. So ideally you would want to see something that looks like so. All right, you want to see something that looks like so and bounce here, then boom, go to the upside. Ideally normally you would want to see like a retracement back to that resistance, which is now the support, and then it goes to the upside. All right, so that's what you expect to see. You should also understand that the same thing would apply if this looked like so. So it's the same thing but just inverse. If you find price going like so, and this now is bearish, it's not bullish. So you see that they are just mirror images. Yeah, so this is bullish, this is bearish. If you see price going like so, you'd want to see a high right here, maybe another high right here, and when it bounces here, it should give you a lower high to this one. When it gives you that lower high, you expect it to come back down and move to the downside by this factor. That's what you're looking for. It moves to the downside by this factor. Now that is the problem, because that's the bigger picture here. That's the bigger picture. All right, so it's not like I'm all that bearish and I just want this thing to collapse. It's that is what is in front of us. I can't, you know, just go against all of this. It's not like I'm the one doing it. It's right there. That is it. All right, so you have your price going up like so, you have it go up like so, and you have that huge high. The second one, you want a bounce from here, and you want another high that is lower than this one. So this is actually your invalidation point. Now that is even crazier, because it has to go up this high. If it goes up to 40k, it is impossible to even imagine that this thing could ever come back down to here. It's really impossible, and I understand when people say it can't go there. Even I find it crazy to even, I find it crazy that I'm saying it, but that's what the charts are saying. That's the problem. We have to keep our emotions aside. We understand that it has to come back up here, fail to give another high. If it goes above here, it has invalidated this one, and so by definition it will continue to go up. But that is what we expect to find. So according to my thesis, which is what I am going to follow, except we got another piece of data from the charts to oppose this idea, but for now I do not find anything at all that suggests that we will go even higher. I don't find anything. And so if we have another high right here at 40k, at 47k, and yes, it could extend to 50. Yes, why am I saying that? I'm looking at Fibonacci, and I will show you that in a minute. So I expect that at this level right here, that is where I would be coming out. And then you would normally say, well, I would expect price to come down to maybe even retest 21k, maybe retest 20k, maybe even come down to 18, but I am not sure it could ever go to 3. And here is where we have a problem. All right, here is where we have a problem. Let me just show you now in a moment. This right here, where is it? Let me erase all of this so that it's not I don't want to have a very dirty chart. All right, so let's just put those lines back. We have this one. Now keep in mind, I'm not trying to be too perfect with the lines. So we have that one and this one. Okay, So we have that one and this one. So we have this first pivot point here, the second pivot point, and then we have the third pivot point coming in right here. Ideally, you want a bounce from that third pivot point. It could go to the downside, okay? It could go to the downside. Now, before all of this, I had a different thesis for 3,000, which is why I saw it way earlier before any of this happened, all right? I had a different thesis for 3,000, but this one even made me more convinced about it, you know? And so, yeah, I understand it's a crazy target for Bitcoin, but yeah, that's just what the charts say. And so you might be like, well, if price came back, you could expect that price comes back to, say, let's say retest the bottom. Yes, now retesting that bottom would have broken this support, and God forbid that you have a weekly candle closing below this support. You will be going for that target, this target. So of course it's just something to consider. There is nothing guaranteed here, but the fact remains the charts say the truth, you know. Even the weekly death cross that we had before, it is still there. The weekly death cross is still there, and so that's the weekly death cross. It is still there, and everybody has forgotten about it. All right, but don't forget that this thing could just do like this and do like so. Okay, the weekly death cross is still there. When it came, when we had a death cross about to happen around here, everyone was talking about it, but now no one is talking about it. Everyone was talking about the US having about 40,000 BTC to sell, and actually they have about 200,000. I was reading an article about it this morning. They have about 200,000 BTC, more than MicroStrategy and Tesla combined. All right, the US government. And when price was retracing here, everyone was saying the US government has about 40,000 BTC they could dump on the market. When we had another retracement here, everyone was talking about some other thing. And so people always find reasons to think that this is why price might dump, this is why price might not dump. And they were even talking about Binance. Binance is under investigation, and each time we have a slight dip, people find all sorts of news to say, oh, this is why we're dumping, do not buy Bitcoin now. I watched a lot of videos on people saying, don't buy altcoins. I even made my own video and said, be careful, be careful. We still have a long way to go to the upside before we plummet. And I know it is crazy. Nobody is saying this. Absolutely no one. Now, the Fibonacci, which I said I will show you earlier, is that when you want to know where price could go to, that is, you want to know where price could go to the upside, you are pulling your Fibonacci from top to bottom. Okay, so you're pulling your Fibonacci from top to bottom, so it's an extension. You want to see where price can extend to. When you want to see where price can retrace back to the downside, so you are looking for a retracement of Fibonacci, you're pulling it from bottom to top, so it will be from bottom to top like so. Now, if we are looking for the extension up, that will be the golden pocket. All right, so if we pull from top to bottom, that will be your golden pocket inside here. Is it just a coincidence that this happens like so? No. Now, this is why I said we could have a move to the upside right here at 50-ish. But I will not trust this move. This is not anything that I would ever, this is not something I would ever bet on. I would always consider price moving according to the pattern. The patterns have to correlate with the Fibonacci. All right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a like and a subscribe. Have your notifications on for the next video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you have an opposing theory, let me know in the comments. But be sure that there are actual theories, like actual thesis, not just some emotional stuff like I don't believe it can go there. You know, that's what a lot of people tell me. So give me something, be it macroeconomics, be it technical analysis, and let us all understand why BTC may go to a certain price. It's a community after all. Thanks so much for watching the video. Until the next one, stay safe.